can't because there's just walls in the ways. And you just completely ignore that in Overworld glitches.
Glan checked out the Hylia Island for us, saw that it was only 20 rupees. Whatever. Not gonna see that. Looks like it's Sahasrara next to him, which is... I'm a fan of the play.
It's a very good start on Overworld glitches because you can just bonk the wall and break it.
And is JC gonna climb Death Mountain? Is that what I'm seeing here?
That'd be an interesting start. Checking the poultry and the bush crab, and then peeking the cave. Just rupees, 50.
We did see the map check though, and we saw two pendants, or not two pendants, two crystals, excuse me, in the light world, and then desert having a pendant, so that's not a bad distribution. Looks like JC's just playing a pretty standard no major glitches opening route. Start at the Sanctuary, check the Lumberjack tree if you want to, then Lost Woods and Kakariko.
Looks pretty standard so far.
It's got a lot of bombs. Got the 3-pack there, got the 3-pack out of the Sank, also got some off the tree pole. Let's see what Blind's Hideout has. 5 items. We've still yet to see anything of real value for the runners here. And the first 4 chests continue that trend.
Garbage all the way through.
Surely the well will have something. You can't have a completely empty Kakariko, right? Even in this mode where your Sphere 1 checks there's a lot more of them than there are in no major glitches.
Oh, there's the good stuff.
Yeah, that's a good start.
And the shroom. But the hammer pretty much makes up for all the other disappointment.
Yeah. So is getting free money from the bottle vendor. Now, what I'd like to see here fairly soon is the Cane of Samaria. This hammer, Cane of Samaria, they can make the magic back jet with those items using the fake powder glitch. But unless it's on the library or the race game, we're not going to see it in Kakariko Village proper.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting start.
JC's clipping, is this to the maze game?
Yeah, straight from Kakariko. Nothing interesting on the maze. And it's right down to the desert. That's a nice start.
That's an interesting way to get there. Never seen that one before, I don't think. Although we did see that the maze game was trash when he was running by it, and we see it again on Glan screen there. Immediately into Pendant Desert Palace and the Green Pin. Probably a fine dip if you want to make it now, because you don't have the fire source you need to kill Landmolas, but if all goes well, you don't need to kill Landmolas anyways, so...
Yeah, whether it's pendant or crystal, dipping Desert Palace... Oh, mirror, that's very nice. Dipping Desert Palace on your way down in Odo usually is a very good choice.
It's a reasonably fast 2 items, and when it pays off, it does pay off pretty big, like we saw that. And there's 2 items out of Desert Palace, so unless something's on the Master Sword pedestal, we won't be seeing the Landmolas kill today.
Or if it's a green pendant, right? So it might be something on Sazerala, but let's hope
No,
that's
it's blue.
okay. Oh, right.
Green Pendant will be somewhere in the Dark World.
And Glan clipping to K45.
Skipping Agina, it looks like, but there was nothing in there anyways, so works out for him.
JC just behind him. Clipping back to get Agina.
Just doing it out of order. I guess he plans to save and quit out of Agina or something? We'll see.
Yeah, I don't see much reason. Yeah, I don't see much reason to do it in that order if you're not going to save and quit. JC finally checking the library.
Yeah, Michael in chat calling out that walking out of Agina's cave is really quite slow, so he prefers Glan's routing there, and I think it sort of came out on the wash on this one because JC didn't check the library with the way he clipped the desert, and he wanted to get that check in instead of isolating it.
Yeah, pretty much on par at this point. Finally doing his floating island check.
And then, no, not straight to Sahasrara like I thought it might have been. I think this clip will take him to Hobo. Am I right?
Yeah, it looks like he's going to Hobo. There's no reason to do floating island. Yep, Hobo.
Not quite close enough to the transition for fake flippers, though.
Yeah, trying to get it just pixel perfect.
And there it is. So you got to transition on the very frame after you land in the water for that glitch, otherwise you just drown. And love.
Glan doing a fun DMA there.
Glan can clear this Tower of Hera as long as he doesn't need to go to the fire-locked basement for anything. So I like that play.
Oh, that's a bad omen. At the very least, you can get the hint. Hope it's something good. No, that's a very good hint. But
Yep.
unfortunately, it's fire locked. Big key in the basement.
Yeah, but he can take his hammer and go straight to the east side, and then when he's done, he can take advantage of that sewer's hint if he wants to. Or I guess he can check Spectacle Rock.
Yeah, he's gonna check Spectral Rock and then clip to the east side, probably.
Yeah, that's more efficient, because you don't want to isolate Spectacle Rock. Although now he's sort of isolated the old man. But that's something you want to do regardless for the save and quit point.
JC doing a fun clip to get that mushroom check in. And it's just fit 20.
And taking the hard reset so that he has the opportunity to fake powder later if he needs to. I like the hammer dashes on Glan's side. He doesn't have a sword, so he'd get bopped if he just dashed into the mini moldworms and jellyfish, but he's got good timing on those hammer dashes, able to kill a couple.
Ooh. Oh. Nice payoff for JC.
JC don't need no stinking hints to find his items. I'm trying to think though, what does the hookshot really buy you in Overworld glitches besides the back of Swamp Palace? Much of anything? I guess 3 chests and hookshot cave too.
Yeah, there's Swamp Palace, Hookshot Cave. It definitely want it for GT unless you're gonna do a hover. And it's helpful for some glitches. It makes some of the spin speed clips easier because you can hold your sword out and then do a hook dash to get the speed at the same time.
Okay, that's fair. I may have been underselling it a bit in my head if that's the case. I didn't think about the applications for spin speed making that easy. Looks like Glan's going to the front of the castle. We did not see a small key on JC's side when he went to the back sewers, so that does mean that if he's so inclined, Glan will be able to clear the entire castle escape sequence front to back.
Yep.
If he really wants to.
Not that it's very fun without a sword.
Nah, but he's got hammer, he's got mirror. It's not a bad place to be in.
JC about to get a very unhelpful hint.
He was able to run through a little bit faster using that hook shot to hit switches, grab the key, but that's almost on the level of counting frames. There's only one actual item left for Glan to find in the castle area that we didn't already see JC pick up though, so we'll see where it is. It might be in the cell, might be in the cross, who knows.
And looks like JC is going for the Pyramid Fairy setup.
If he wants the front of the castle, then yeah, that makes sense. Also, I like that bunny sprite. I've never seen it before, but it's pretty funny. JC looks sort of stuck to me, I think.
Yeah, I don't think he was intending to get stuck there, but he just suicided out, which is another way to get to it. And saving and continuing will keep the portal active, so you can still take that to the ferry.
Okay, so that's why he didn't just save and quit out.
Yeah, he considered it for a second because whatever he was trying to do went wrong, but he realized he could just suicide. Ooh, very nice. Pearl.
That's definitely a find. Looks like Glan got lost somewhere in the dark rooms. He did get the small key out of the cross, but got lost after that and had to save and quit out. So we'll just see the sewers from him the normal way.
And from the Pyramid Ferry, Jay-Z can swing around and get a lot of Dark World overage.
Let's see, that map check was a 5-6 Gold Swamp. And I think I saw a green pendant Odd and red pendant Thieves Town. Can you back me up on that?
I'm not clear, but JC picked up the book off the pyramid.
Okay, I just saw it on the restream. I did see that map check. I'm very happy about having seen that.
And I think Glan tried to do the hookshot clip on the block and failed there. So he had to go in the second time.
Yeah, would have saved him the trip, but oh well. Just means he has to do it normally. Mini Moldworm Cave's another one of those good, dense locations you'll love to see checked early.
Hookshot helps out a lot for that. It's a lot nicer than trying to hammer a bomb. Oh, Glan got his first sword.
And a fire rod, and a bottle. Good cave today. Anyways, we do have... When JC picked up that Moon Pearl out of the Pyramid Ferry, he did get his conventional Dark World access. Obviously detoured to the castle first. Gotta wonder if that's the next play for him, though. I think it might be.
Yeah, he's got Dark World access to 3 warp tiles and also the DMD.
Right, no need to finagle with Super Bunny or anything. Although we do see JC apparently not counting his items entirely. He's gonna go up to the Dark Cross and find a small key that leads to chests he already opened. That's a little unfortunate.
Glan doing the Waterfall and Zora checks.
Lost his water walk because he got the heart refill though. but won't stop him from getting to King Zoro once he lands.
Flipper's on the ledge. That's kind of funny.
Yeah. JC had a nice bonk to find the chest and learn that he didn't need to go for it after all, but if you're lost in that dark room and you know you're roughly in the right space, if you bonk off the torch that's in the far bottom right, you'll be in front of the chest.
That's nice to know. Oh, getting silvers off Zora. Not necessary, but still very nice. Cheeses a lot of bosses, makes Ganon a lot easier.
Yep. And even if they were way far out of the way on their own, he learned that he will need those flippers off the Zora ledge. On the other hand, could he have gotten those flippers in one go if he didn't lose his water walk from the refill in the waterfall cave?
Yes, he could have. He could have, oh no, he couldn't because he doesn't have Pearl.
I thought Pearl might be needed to store the double water walk there, but I couldn't remember for sure.
If he had Pearl, he could have gone in the wall in one go by getting the Zora item, then going back to the waterfall cave to get water walk again, and then clipping onto the ledge. Although that's obviously pretty slow.
Yeah, slow, but probably worth doing, considering you're not going to have the flippers to make that fast. Oh, and I'm being reminded that yes, there is a clip up there. I'm good at the glitches thing, guys, I promise. Not really, that's why I have Shaku. He knows this stuff a lot better than I do. And gotta thank you for being here for me.
Yeah, and I'm glad you're here providing the more general commentary and doing the tracking, of course. Doing a lot of hard work. And yeah, as Michael notes, Boot's water walk isn't in logic yet for anything, although it has been noted on the Discord to the appropriate people. So we'll probably be seeing it in soon, hopefully the next version.
I think Glan just set up the pyramid fairy check, if I understood that correctly. He showed a map and he showed on the pyramid, so I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Checking Graveyard Ledge.
This is a new check.
Which I think was what JC was trying to do before he got stuck.
Well, lucky for him it was trash, but it only saves him time if he never goes back to it.
Glan,
yeah, I didn't see how he set that up, but I guess that's a Houlihan setup I didn't know. But gets himself some money, and he had a bunch already, so not 100% sure what he needed it for. Unless he just wanted to warp back to Link's house.
Yeah, he didn't need the money, so it's obviously just for the warp. JC getting into Mire.
If you're allergic to flashing things, please cover your eyes. And it's now safe to uncover them.
Oh, accidentally mirroring into the rock.
Still clears out the seizure effect, so I'm fine with it.
Yeah, someone noted in chat that Glan has had the a bottled fairy, which I wasn't sure if he did, but with that you can do fairy revival to get to the ledge.
I think I've seen that in at least one no major glitches race, which was super cool. We also did see Cane of Samaria on JC's end over there. So that's the other half of the fake powder combination I was speculating about like 20 minutes ago.
A bit late though.
No, he hard reset after his mushroom, so he still has it. And I think we saw Bombos for my year entry.
I mean, it's just too late to road it in. At this point, it's going to be after we're done with another check, if he does it at all.
Yeah, that's fair.
JC is doing the digging game, and then I think he might be doing a clip to get up into the Village of Outcasts without the mitts, because he only has glove.
In chat calling out Glan got his powder somewhere. I appear to have missed that, I'm sorry. Glan also just got a second sword.
Nice. And yes, JC is doing the clip into the Village of Outcasts, because he does not have the mitts. In logic, I think Titan's mitts are only required for, oh, he accidentally jumped past the transition. Not good. So he had to save and quit. But yeah, in logic, Titan's mitts are required for Ice Palace entrance, and I don't think anything else.
Just that one silly, stupid rock.
But I'm pretty sure most of the people running in this tournament will know ways to get into Ice Palace without it.
Yeah. It's kind of a shame we saw JC overshoot that jump, though, because being able to go check Village of Outcasts area, clear Thieves Town, run right up and clear Skull Woods would have been pretty nice and efficient routing for him.
Yeah.
Instead, we're just seeing him clear Hera instead. Glan beats around the Gibdos for a vanilla big key. Not really what he was hoping to find, I don't think, because it just means he'll have to backtrack for that chest if it contains the last item.
Yeah.
Also, to answer your question in chat, both runners have fairies in their bottles. No potions here.
Bottle B. Sorted in West Swamp Palace.
I'm not sure we'll see that something sharp, but maybe, I guess, depending on what other swords are found before then. We already know where 2 of them are, so there's really only one more to be found.
Oh, Glan getting caught by... Oh no. Never mind.
Good moth fight on Glan's side. Tried to get some hammer and decided it was inconvenient.
Both of them holding up their crystals at the same time. Oh, going for a pedestal check.
Best time to do it.
Just pocket change.
Not surprised.
JC finally clearing out Eastern Death Mountain.
Is that clip that he did actually faster than just running across the bridge?
I don't know. Actually, guess it depends how quick he can hammer.
Yeah, I guess I'm thinking if you hammer dash and you actually properly time it, there's no way it doesn't look like, but otherwise it probably comes out in the wash. Glan picking up more money out of the chess game than he would pick up if he pulled the bed, just to show you how valuable that location is.
JC getting Titan's mitts and Glan getting the boomerang.
Blue Boomerang's the one everybody loves. It's actually got some applications in places like Ganon's Tower.
Yes, there's some very nice boomerang strats. And there's a nice strategy for the room, the tower room, Hera.
Oh yeah, Hera's boomerang dash strategies are silly. I have no idea how people can execute those even semi-consistently. We did see Glan leave Thieves Town after the first 4, it looks like. Interesting decision, since he could full clear.
And you got both boomerangs now. But he knows Thieves Town is pendant, so he might not want to go all the way through that.
That's true, and he did actually. I think he did find 3 items in the front. So in that case, only 1 item to find. Actually, yeah, that's not nearly as bad of a decision as it may look.
JC clipping straight to the waterfall entrance.
Not going to see those flippers. Actually, well no, he had the Moon Pearl. He could have just walked right out.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why he didn't do those checks.
I mean, it was a very fast pair of checks. I'm just intrigued by why he didn't continue on, at least see what the ledge was, if not check King's Aura outright. JC dancing up the slope there does mean we'll get our first look at the east side of Dark Death Mountain. All a Hookshot Cave, all a Super Bunny Cave, however much of Turtle Rock he feels like besides Trinex. I think that's the only check in there they can't read.
Yeah. There's a lot of items in Turtle Rock, so would be a bad choice to dip.
Chat, also, I'm being told that you can't get Water Walk by leaving the Waterfall Ferry if you clip into it with the Moon Pearl. And in that case, I'll take your word for it. I'm gonna have to ask about the why later, because that makes no intuitive sense to me, but I'm guessing it's something to do with the fact that you didn't enter it properly.
Yeah, I've never tried that before, so I'll just take Michael's word on it, because Normally you'd enter with fake flippers and then get one rock on the way out, but he clipped in and obviously didn't have fake flippers for that.
We did see a whole lot of nothing aside from like maybe a bottle and a shield on Dark Death Mountain. So
Yeah.
we Mimic Cave and Turtle Rock and hope that doesn't continue the trend. Glan's getting his absolute trash out of Hype Cave. Hell yeah, man.
Very typical Hype Cave there.
Do see the nice bonk from JC to get back to the front part of Turtle Rock without having to leave and re-enter. Does mean he'll be able to mirror right back to the big chest entrance, which is good. Saves him some time.
That rail clip is a nice trick. And he only has the fighter sword, so he's using the fire rod on that. It is not fun trying to kill us with the fighter sword or the hammer.
I don't blame him. I would use the fire rod for anything short of tempered sword.
Glan attempting the boomerang dash strat in the tower room.
Showing off how difficult and inconsistent of a strat that one is, because if I remember right, that one requires 3 frame-perfect inputs that aren't simultaneous. Like, spin speed, hook speed is simultaneous input, spin speed is next frame input, but that boomerang dash is like 3 different inputs and it's silly.
Yeah. It does look nice if you pull it off, though.
I think we've only seen keys in Turtle Rock so far on JC's side.
He's probably going to see something else in the fire locked room coming up.
There's only 2 small keys left, so if he doesn't find something else, I'll be shocked.
Missing that hook shot. Always annoying.
Yeah, the way the hookshot stops your Samaria travel is really obnoxious.
Almost was gonna save and quit, and then decided to mirror instead.
May have forgotten he had that for a sec. Or he's just not opting to go deeper, which I guess without the ice rod, that's a decision.
Yeah, all that's left from down there is the laser bridge. So when he's gonna bet on getting the ice rod elsewhere, and then when he does, he can clear out the laser bridge through the lower Turtle Rock mirror wrap.
Was Glan trying to set something up before he grabbed that crystal?
I wasn't looking.
He was trying to set up a dash from like the very top, as if he was going to try a bomb jump or something using that spin buffer strategy, but then just dash down and grab it. I'd be interested to know if he was trying to do something there, but we're playing overworld glitches. Major glitches are sort of banned in dungeons still. And in caves, houses, whatever else.
Yeah, any sort of major glitches are completely disallowed in the underworld. Daisy going for the catfish.
Switching to that mirror, I guess this is going to be what he routes in with Zora.
Just mirroring right away because it's trash. Oh, Glan getting the ledge clip over there. Same time, JC's coming in.
JC's going to be able to walk back around if he clips that, or walk back around to clip that, excuse me, after picking up his item from Zora.
Yeah, someone noted in chat that Glan with that dash was probably setting up water walk, which you can arm water walk by dashing near the edge of a pit.
Okay, that actually makes total sense, and that's something I've never seen them do that outside of Ice Rod Cave or Mini Moldorm Cave, so it didn't even occur to me. That's fantastic presence of mind and thought from Glan to know that that's an option for him.
Yeah, that's some very smart planning there.
We did see JC save and quit out of Zora after getting the silver arrows, but it looks like he might be going to set up a fake flipper to go right back there.
Yep. Glan getting nothing from Bombos.
Kind of a shame, but I think he's going to play it with Swamp Palace now, so it's an in-the-way check, relatively speaking.
Yep, he's still got the mirror set up for it.
It's the advantage of being able to clip everywhere. You can save your mirror portals for where you really need them.
And you can sometimes put them in interesting places you wouldn't be able to otherwise. Is he getting those flippers now?
Not sure what he drowned on that first jump, but on the second one he was able to.
Yeah, that just happens when you do it the first time. I have no idea why exactly, but that's completely normal for that clip.
I guess I just missed it on Glan's side then when he was doing the same one. While Glan's in Swamp Palace, let me take a sec, take stock what we need for go mode on these guys. I think it's just a bow, an ice rod, and a Bombos medallion. Yeah, there's nothing else that there really can be.
Yeah, pretty much. And at least a Master Sword for JC. Still rocking that Fighter Sword.
Yeah. He'll pick that up in Skull Woods, presumably. Or he'll pick up the one on the left side of Swamp, because he's going there now.
And JC doing the dash start while he's pulling the lever. It's nice to see someone do that for once.
Yeah, it's always fun. I don't think it saves a huge amount of time, maybe like half a second or so, because you're buffering the dash, but it looks cool.
Yeah, it saves you like 29 frames. So it's not going to win you a run.
We did see half magic in the southern wing of Swamp Palace on Glan's side, which that's a lot of fire rod shots to kill Argus with.
Yeah, not a good time. Yeah, getting into that nice hammer dash down to the key pot.
Got a little pushed around trying to set it up, but did get it after a couple seconds. That's another one of those strats that I really like that may or may not be optimal. I don't actually know, but it looks cool.
It's probably faster if you don't get hit by anything setting it up.
If I remember right, the left side of Swamp Pit said there was some cash alongside the sword. So I don't know if those hints are ordered in any particular way, like the sword was second, does that mean it's on the right side or what? I guess we'll find out if that applies to all. Oh, some bombs, not some cash, excuse me.
I'm not 100% sure, but I do think the hints that give you multiple checks are actually ordered. But you have to look at the source code to figure out what the order is.
Yeah, that's one of those things that I haven't done recently at all, so I couldn't tell you. But if they are ordered, then your second item on the left side of Swamp Pin is the vanilla big key location. It can save you a few seconds if the other one's garbage. Or lose you a lot of time if I'm wrong and it's not actually there.
I'm going to be very happy going into this with a tempered sword.
Oh yeah, for sure. Tempered Sword always feels just really nice to have. The upgrade over Master Sword it just feels good. It's the best way I can put it.
Yeah, Fighter's Sword and for Dark World bosses is like desperation level. Master Sword is bare minimum, and tempered is you can actually do stuff well.
Gold Sword is also nice, but for 99% of use cases, it's just overkill.
It is very nice on Glan though. You can push through them in one cycle without even seeing the fire bats, I think, if you do it right.
You've got to see the fire bats regardless, just so that you can get through that second cycle. But you are right that it does make getting the one cycles there a lot more consistent. It can certainly be done with the Tempered Sword, and most top runners can even do that probably about 90% of the time from what I've seen, if not more. But Gold Sword just makes it almost impossible to mess that one up.
Yeah.
And then the only thing I think it actually does for you damage-wise is it enables 0 cycle Trinex on the first phase. I'm not sure Gold Sword saves any significant amount of time elsewhere. Although, do need to caveat that we're talking specifically about top-tier speedrunners like the guys you guys are watching right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. For the rest of us, it definitely helps more.
Absolutely.
Like for Cold Stare, I can consistently keep them in the corner with the Gold Sword. With the Tempered, they usually get out a bit. Speaking of Glan going to Ice Palace.
Glan running the risk of despawning Ice Palace, but didn't actually happen.
Basically pulling off 2 bits of popcorn and slashing them together to save time. Because you need 2 slashes for the Master Sword, so this is a big time save.
Yep, still not quite as efficient as the Tempered Sword 1/slash strat that Glan was able to use, but about the best you can do with the tools JC had. JC's having a little bit of trouble comboing those fire rod shots in the spin, but is able to eventually knock down Argus, get his second crystal.
And yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't looking when Glan was getting into Ice Palace, which he did without the mitts, so I didn't see what clip he did.
Yeah, I unfortunately did not see that myself. May see JC do. Well, no, JC has the mid, so he'll presumably just go in the normal.
Yeah, seems like it. Although it's honestly probably faster if you could to do the clips if you can do it fast and consistently.
Also, chat calling out that we need the Ice Rod and the bow for go mode. We do also need the Bombos medallion, because even with Overworld major glitches, there's no other way into Misery Mire.
Yeah, you need Underworld glitches for that.
We haven't seen anything in Ice Palace yet, but we're just now getting to the meat of the dungeon. I think the only check Glan had so far was the big key.
Yeah, getting those nice 3 chests all together on the right side.
There's one item. Maybe if you're real lucky, all 3 of them will be right here on the right. Okay, never mind.
Yep. Oh, the heart of the key.
Ideally, he'll find all 3 items here in his next couple checks, and he won't have to circle around to the so-called iced tea chest. But looking more and more likely that he'll have to circle around to that chest if he doesn't want to isolate it. There's the Freezor chest here, and he can drop to the big chest. Okay, that's a start. Or he's not going to drop. Looks like he might go to...
Yeah, he's bombing across the field to the ice tea room first.
Okay, that's actually... With that bomb jump, it's actually pretty quick to get there.
And the bomb jumps across that pit above the big chest room are very easy to set up.
Yeah, you've got to know that they can be done, but they're mostly intuitive once you actually know about them. And he did find his Bombos medallion in there, so good thing he did that.
JC doing the very nice bomb strat on that one Pangator room.
Yeah, shoutouts to low percent strats.
And there's another bomb set up in the first Pangator room, but that's much harder to do. So I guess that's why I didn't do it. Just so hard to consistently get off.
Yeah, I've seen NMG runners, NMG randomizer runners specifically do it a few times. But it's not a chest you need to check in vanilla, and in rando you often have better equipment than just bombs for dealing with that room. Very nice cold stare fight.
Yeah, mostly keeping them in the corner except for one that got away with just a slash short.
Now the real question, where does Glan go from here? Misery Mire is the crystal dungeon he can clear, but it's got a few other options too.
He's checking the hobo, I think.
That'll be Titan's mitts for him. Not that he really needs them, but area there.
Yeah, not very useful at this point after we cleared Ice Palace.
I'm trying to think if there's anywhere that they can even save a few seconds for him, just using them instead of some other option. But nothing's coming to mind.
If they have to use the Kakariko Warp, it saves a bit of time.
Chat's calling out the blacksmith as well, which, if I remember correctly, people have been saying that mitts are logically required for that, but there are other ways.
Yeah, they're logically required. I forgot about that, but there are a few ways to get to it. And Glan doing that nice little spin speed clip to get over, instead of going around and picking up the rock.
Looks like it will be Misery Mire for him.
Doing some very nice smooth clipping along the way there.
And before the race started, I did see Glan practicing his Mire 2 rune tech. So we'll see how clean he gets that. That's probably one of, if not the most difficult rooms in the game to optimize and do well.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see.
Unfortunately, no sword beams in that first fire rod shot getting away from him means that it's not quite perfect, but it's still really clean considering no sword beams.
Yeah. JC doing cold stare very well for only having a master sword.
Yep. He was able to keep them in the corner for a while, then just fell back on fire rod shots, which do like 4 times as much damage as master sword to cold stare.
Oh yeah. In that sort of situation with the master sword and the fire rod, I like to knock them into the corner a bit and then go on them with the fire rod so you can hit them all at once.
Yep. And we do have Godmire for Glan with the big key on the bridge. Since he still needs 2 items, he's choosing not to take it. And chat asking how the run's going so far. So let's give him a bit of a recap. There haven't been any major divergences so far. Glan went and did Skull Woods fairly early on, which JC hasn't touched yet. And that's what accounts for both his crystal lead and his sword advantage. Yeah, and on top of that, he is just ahead in the race, it feels like.
Yep.
Which, it's a testament to the fact that he's been playing very cleanly throughout.
You're getting those very nice fire rod clips that make that upper torch room so much nicer to do. Useless hint.
We already got the normal big red bomb hint, and then we got a moon pearl hint on top of it. Silly seed.
Yeah, that's one of the few locations you can actually get duplicate hints for.
That wasn't even a duplicate hint, though. That hint was just for the pearl, where the other one was for the bomb location itself. But yeah, it's the same sort of thing you might see with the boots if they're in a silly location. But this is Overworld glitches, so they start with the boots and no boots hints. Here's a new check from JC, though. It's a pretty isolated location for Glan, so if it pays out, it could be huge.
Interesting that he's not using the... Oh, it's just a potion. Oh, he's saving and quitting out. Yeah. But it's interesting that he was using the hook shot there instead of the cane. I guess he wants to save magic.
Yeah, half magic makes that not the biggest problem in the world, but if you want to conserve it for something like it looks like he might be running to Skull Woods here,
Yeah,
then
he's
it's nice
definitely
to have.
definitely going to Skull Woods now. And here's where those bits help him save a few seconds, like you asked about.
Yep, no need to take the long way around here. Glan is able to find that switch in the dark, which I see that part pretty commonly cited as the most difficult part of the Mire Dark Rooms. But really, the whole thing is tricky, especially if you haven't practiced.
Yeah, that's what it all comes down to with some of the harder dark rooms like the Dark Maze and Mire. You just got to practice until it's basically muscle memory.
Right. In some rooms, like the one he was just in, you can use something like fireball shooters to help gauge your position. But in the end, if you don't know what you're doing, it won't help. But Glan knows what he's doing fairly well at that. He should be through these in a matter of a moment.
Yeah, he's been doing very well all around with the dark rooms in this run.
Yeah, he had the sewers earlier. And then he did that one. Has he done any other dark rooms? Even if not, just doing Mire alone is impressive enough.
I think, yeah, it's Sewer, Old Man, Mire are the only dark rooms he's had to do so far.
I couldn't remember if it was him or JC that did Old Man, but there's a bunch of small eyes down. No arrows to make this fight a joke. So he's just going to have to play somewhat careful with only 2 hearts.
Yeah, once you get it down to the big eye, it's just a simple game of volleyball.
Pretty easy for it to go wrong if your timing's off, though.
JC doing Fire on Mothula, which isn't a bad choice.
He hasn't been to the front yet, so he has no Tempered Sword, so... But with that Mire clear, Glan's on 5 crystals, cannot complete either of the last 2. Actually, the thing we haven't seen yet that I'm sort of surprised about is the Ganon's Tower play. They can clip into that fairly easily in Overworld glitches, and it is a ton of items. So
20 possible items, and there is no junk fill in glitched modes, so they could all be valuable.
At this point, there's only 2 checks that are really valuable in any capacity, but 20 chances at it, I like the odds of at least one of them being there.
The only real problem with going into GT at this point is that they don't have the bow, so they can't complete it unless they're willing to do the mimic clip glitch.
I have a suspicion Glan might, considering he literally discovered the Palace of Darkness one. But that's just my own idle speculation, and I don't actually know for sure.
It'd be interesting to see it in this race, but it's pretty annoying to do.
Yeah, it would just be an efficiency thing if they wanted to do it. I'm not even 100% sure it would be worth the time with the bow actually required to clear Eastern Palace already.
JC finally getting his tempered.
And now he's just a single Misery Mire clear away from being back at parity with Glan.
Yep. And Glan got another bow and shield. Another bottle, not bow.
Chat asking why people skip the Skullwoods big chest. In general, there's actually several reasons. First, the layout of Skullwoods means that the big key isn't actually required for anything other than that chest, and accordingly, it's possible for the big key to be locked inside that chest, making it impossible to open. Second, if the big key is in the back, then JC would go to the back like he did, get the big key, then he'd come back and he'd check the rest of the front first, because he did basically a back-to-front clear because he had the fire rod. And in that case, he found all of his items in Skullwoods before needing to open that big chest, so he knew it had junk. Or if you're doing a traditional front-to-back clear, either because you don't have the fire rod or because that's what you want to do, then if the big key is in the back, you would have to backtrack to it, and you just usually find all your items before that, because Skullwoods only has 2 actual items in it. Anyways, Glan has made his way into Ganon's tower. We're seeing the tile room play. He's cheesing it with the magic cape. And he gets arrows.
JC coming down to Mire now. Accidentally did an upward teleport once before he got it right, but he'll be going in right now.
Nothing so far in the tower for Glan, but let's see how he routes this.
Very uninteresting right side. He's gonna steal that key and mirror back.
Yeah, makes sense. He could have chosen to take the right side all the way down to the Ice Armos if he wanted to, but since you've got to do left side anyways, no real point in doing that.
Yeah, the right side path to Armos is a lot more annoying. And it's much better to just steal a key.
Chat called out JC's lack of flute usage to reach Misery Mire. Now would be the time to point out JC has not activated his flute, but that's an ice rod, that's more important than that fact. So there's one of the items Glan needs. If he finds a bow in the basement, he's in full-on go mode.
Yeah, if he gets the bow, he's going to be in a really good position.
Even if he doesn't find the bow here, I would wager there's a decent chance it's in the back of Turtle Rock. So all he'd have to do is walk out, go to Turtle Rock, and come back to Ganon's tower after.
Doing the very nice blue boomerang shots in these 2 rooms. Oh, another medallion, not that he needs it.
Yep, literally the only medallion that serves any sort of purpose in this seed is Bombo.
Oh, there it is, the bow.
And there's the big key right next to it. Good thing he didn't forget he needed that. So So yeah, 1 hour, 10 minutes. Glan is in go mode. All he's got to do is clear this tower, go over, clear Turtle Rock, clear Eastern Palace, and he's on to Ganon.
Yeah, got a very straightforward path to Ganon from here. Oh, and Ice Rod is missing on Glan's side.
Yeah, it's not updating for whatever reason. I'm trying to play with it. Okay, there it goes. JC is through the difficult part of the Misery Mire Dark Rooms. He's just got to go hit that switch, and that's it. Chat saying would have gone to Turtle Rock first. I have to ask, would you go to Turtle Rock first knowing that you didn't have the Ice Rod before you chose between Turtle Rock and Ganon's Tower? Because Glan did also find his Ice Rod in the Stalfos room of Ganon's Tower. So that definitely played a role in his decision making.
Glan doing a very nice clear of the gauntlet. And doing fire rods for the most instead of arrows.
Fire Rod's not that much slower. Although, yes, Turtle Rock, walking over to Turtle Rock before clearing the GT Gauntlet would save a mountain climb. I don't know how valuable that is in Overworld glitches. It's definitely much faster there. But I don't have a sense of timing for how much faster the clips are than anything else. What would you have done with that, though, Shiku? Would you have bailed on Ganon's Tower to save yourself that mountain climb, or just not worth the effort?
I would have finished up Ganon's Tower, but I'm not exactly a top-level speedrunner here.
Glan almost ran out of magic in that torch room trying to be cheeky and get the top right one, just clipping it on the edge. Does get it after a couple shots, but that was a little spooky.
And now he's completely dry. Oh, but he got the full refill.
Yeah, the full refill in that room is every NMG player's best friend.
Very clean Moldorm kill. Just a dash and a spin.
He's in go mode, doesn't need the last chest. Has literally everything he could possibly want to clear the rest of the game with.
Getting the double on Aga 2.
Had the setup for a second double, but the blue ball said no.
Just one
Got
more
it
hit.
there. Just one more hit.
Dashing in joy.
Now we've got simultaneous cutscenes. Just very different ones.
The bird picking up while he's bonked, stuck in midair.
And as a reminder, even though Glan can fall down into the Ganon fight right now if he wants to, Ganon won't take any damage until Glan is finished collecting his crystals. So he does still need to go clear Turtle Rock and Eastern Palace.
He's actually only invincible in the 4th phase. He's damage. You can push him to 4th phase because that's necessary for entrance randomizer, because you might need to use the drop in that room to get somewhere.
Yes, that's very true. But once you get to the 4th phase, he'll call you a dingus and refuse to die.
Yes. That's always the best part of it.
Oh, whoops. JC considering saving and quitting out of Mire. He already had Vitreous dead, but chose to mirror out instead. Where's he going?
Is he checking Bombos maybe? Yeah, it looks like he's going for the Bombos check.
Yeah, I thought he had done that alongside Swamp Palace, but I'm mixing that up with Glan.
Yeah, Glan got it earlier. And he's gonna be disappointed. Glan getting that completely unnecessary laser bridge chest.
Well, he hasn't touched Turtle Rock at all so far, so he doesn't have the big key yet. He's going to need to backtrack his way all the way back to Chainshot's Fort.
Oh yeah, I forgot that he hasn't gone into Turtle Rock yet.
Yeah, that was JC. Unfortunately, with that shovel that he found not being of value, he didn't actually get anything of worth in Turtle Rock. I think the most would have been a bottle.
Glan's got a lot of ways to go in Turtle Rock before he's done here.
The good news for him is that as soon as he does grab that big key, he can just mirror right back to Laser Bridge.
Oh, JC is going for the mirror wrap to lower Turtle Rock, which isn't going to pay off because there isn't much good down there.
Yeah, and he doesn't have the Ice Rod yet because he hasn't been into Ganon's Tower, so he can't kill Trinex with it. This is strictly a Laser Bridge and Crystal Roller room check for him. And dear God, the lag on Glan's side. I can feel it.
Yeah. It's honestly incredible how laggy this game can get sometimes.
I usually think of the first part of Thieves Town as the biggest culprit of that, but Jesus, yeah. That was bad.
Northeast room of the first area of Thieves Town is probably the worst lag I usually get.
JC actually not even going to the Crystal Roller room, just getting the 4 checks on Laser Bridge, saying no. Means he will miss that Ether Medallion, but like when Glan found Quake, it's pointless. He doesn't need it.
He's gonna head up to Ganon's Tower now, I assume.
Glan does need that big key though, and with that he just mirrors right back to Laser Bridge and he's off to Trinex. Yeah, now JC's in the right spot. It's just a matter of getting over to his item locations and grabbing them.
But unfortunately, he's definitely behind at this point.
Right, which is unfortunate, but Glan has played a very clean and well-routed game here. I think that the run he's put on here would beat the vast majority of runners in the vast majority of runs.
Oh, absolutely.
JC's played pretty well himself, but his routing did go awry at a couple points. Like with that Turtle Rock hit that turned out to be nothing, and there
have been a couple attempts at glitches on his part that have gone wrong. That the one when he was trying to get up into the village with Outcasts and actually jumped past the transition was a pretty bad point for him.
Yeah, that one in particular really hurt because it meant that he couldn't go clear Skull Woods and get the 3rd sword out of there, and he had to find time to do that later. Glan's on 6 crystals now.
Jay trying to hit the switch with the not good boomerang.
Has a pretty good strat for that second room, though.
Yeah.
I've never seen it done that way. I normally see people try to force it even with the red boomerang, but that worked well for him.
Just unfortunately falling into the pit there. Trying to.
Oh, and I've never seen this clip on Glan's side to get to the Palace of Darkness area, but that's cool.
Was that the clip from just above the 5 warp point?
No, he clipped from the Turtle Rock warp down to Catfish, and then from there up to right next to Pod.
Oh yeah, that's definitely doable. Some really good routing on his part, because those aren't clips you use super often.
Yeah, and that one in particular, like I'm obviously not the most experienced with glitches, but I've never seen that one before, and it was cool. JC did pick up a gold sword. I didn't see where he got that. It must have been somewhere in Ganon's tower, because Glan doesn't have it.
Yeah. Missing the butter sword isn't a big loss to Glan.
Oh, and it was apparently in the rando room, so Glan just skipped that one chest after getting his big key and his bow and leaving.
I mean, at the level he's playing at, this race, I don't think it makes a big difference for him.
No, not at all. It would have given him the chance to save a cycle on the first phase of Trinex, but doesn't really need it, and everything else is more about consistency than actually saving time. We do see the gauntlet going fairly well on JC's side, though, which is the sort of thing he needs at this point, but
Yeah, gotta keep up that good execution. He's opting for the silver arrows for Landmo. And absolutely nailed it.
yeah, silver arrows are the optimal strat there as long as you don't miss. But then sometimes you miss and it takes you 7 cycles because you're stubborn.
Yeah.
I may or may not have done that more than once before.
Oh yeah, I used to do that before I got a bit better at landing the hit. The Samaria strats in these couple of rooms are really nice. You're getting those whiz robes.
Yep, never get tired of seeing them. Anyways, 7 crystals for Glan. He's just got to run his way back to the pyramid, take the slightly longer walk. He's got a Kiki following him and stealing his money. Will Kiki actually follow him all the way to the pyramid?
Probably won't follow him off the screen. Yep.
Ah, unfortunate. And chat's asking if you can clip the fire in the first torch room of Ganon's tower to avoid picking up the skulls. I don't believe that's possible, but even if it can be done, I can't imagine it's consistent enough to be worth doing. As JC tried to hover Moldorm 2 and failed.
Oh.
It's not going to make a difference on the race itself with Glan already being in the Ganon fight, but you still hate to see it.
Now, if he wanted to be really fancy, he would have done the Molder and bounce across the gap.
I'm still not convinced that's not pass only.
Oh,
even though I know it's not.
There's someone in the Rando Discord that's been practicing it and has gotten pretty good at it.
Yeah, like I said, I know that there are people that can and have done it, but that's still so silly that I refuse to believe that it'll ever be anything resembling consistent.
Glan doing a really phenomenal cannon kill there.
Yep, took advantage of the torch glitch to get a double in there, and means he only had to get that last single. And Glan is done with a time of 1:26:07, so get your GGs on for him.
Yeah, that was a really phenomenal run overall on Glan's side. Really good time.
Absolutely. And on JC's end, he does have Ganon's tower cleared. He's in the same position Glan was a few minutes ago. He's just got to walk his way over to Trinex and walk his way through Eastern Palace, and then he'll be on the Ganon fight himself.
So about 10 to 15 minutes for JC to finish.
Remember, he's already got everything out of Turtle Rock. He's just got the straight walk to Trinex.
Yeah, so like 10 minutes.
Yeah, even that might be on the upper end of things, but we'll see.
Doing a little jig to get up there.
Yeah, that clip is probably my favorite one in the game, just for that dance look.
Yeah, it's pretty funny, and it's extremely useful. So it wins on both utility and style points.
Yep, very good one. And then, yeah, we're seeing JC show off that he did already clear all of Turtle Rock, so let's see if he can go for and get the zero cycle strategy here. He's going for it.
Yep. He's getting it. Very nice.
Just barely misses it, I think, because he missed that first slash, or that last slash on the fire head. Kept him from actually getting the zero cycle, but
he missed his he missed his first fire rod on the ice head, and that cost him a bit of time.
Yeah, I think either one of those would have let him get the actual zero cycle, but still very good fight from him regardless.
Yeah, and with the gold sword he could slash the head down really quick. And I think he might be clipping down to Eastern Palace now. Yeah, he's gonna clip down to Zora, and then from there... Oh, he clipped in the wrong spot.
Wasn't the same clip that Glan used, because Glan approached from the Dark World, but still would have been more or less the same end.
Yeah, basically the same path, but he jumped on the wrong side there to get down to Zora's domain.
End result, he got stuck, and he's just gonna dash his way over to the palace instead.
Yeah. There's been a few times like that in this race where JC has unfortunately had problems with a couple of the clips, and that's cost him some time at some important points.
Yeah, and some of those clips feel like they can be pretty precise, so obviously mistakes will occasionally happen. The runners are not, they're not TaskBot or anything like that, let's put it that way. But they're still doing their best, giving their best effort to do these and put on the show for you guys to watch.
Oh yeah, he's doing very good. But it's just sad that if he got a couple more of those clips, this could have been very close.
Yeah, that's definitely accurate. I feel like I don't see Fire Rod used in that room as much as I should, especially considering he's going to want to use it here in the dark room to light the torch and make that really simple. Normally you just see the bow or sword beams, which I guess the bow makes sense if you have the lamp, but more use of the Fire Rod in that spawning Stallfish room would be cool.
Yeah, I don't see that much.
I just really like the Fire Rod. It's just, it feels really smooth to use.
Oh yeah, it's a really fun weapon.
Anywhere that we can potentially see more use of it is always going to be something I'll call. Now the question for JC here, after he kills these Armos Knights, how is he going to get to the Dark World? Is it just going to be the portal by Link's house, or is there a faster option that you know of?
I think he's going to take the portal by Link's house.
Then it'd just be the long walk back around to the pyramid.
Yep. You can at least get in some spin speed to climb the pyramid faster.
Maybe hammer dash those pegs on the bridge, that sort of thing.
I think he is going down for the Flute Spot 5 portal.
Actually, yeah, that's probably faster than the save and quit. Yeah, I'm not sure why I didn't think of this myself. I feel a little silly. Should have realized that one was an option.
I knew it was an option. I'm just not sure if it's the fastest. Might be. But not knowing which one is faster is just another reason why I'm not running these races.
I'm pretty sure this one's faster. I haven't timed it or anything, but I would be surprised if it wasn't.
Getting out his hookshot to start choosing the first phase.
Yep. And while JC is about to fall into the Ganon fight, we do have Glan in here for an interview, so GG and good run.
Yeah, really good run.
Thank you.
So, do you have any opening thoughts on the seed as a whole, or?
I thought it was a pretty good seed. Lampless, I guess. This is my 2 out of 3 in this tourney so far, lampless. So
Oh,
that's
wow.
kind of cool.
Yeah, I like lampless seeds a lot, so.
Wire dark rooms are exciting.
Yeah, kinda. Except that I can't really do spooky in the dark very well. So, I mean, I probably could. I would just have to practice it.
I need to learn how to do spooky at all.
It's fine though. The viewers can't appreciate spooky when it's done in the dark, so it's not a big loss. Just the 10-15 seconds it's.
Yeah, well, without the flute, it only saves about 7, the one that you would do.
But it looks cool, that's the whole point.
That's true.
And we do have JC with a very quick Ganon fight, finishing with a time of 1:35.52, so just under 10 minutes of difference there. So get your GGs for him as well, because he had a good run as well. Let me think for a second. There was a couple things I saw earlier in the race that I thought were cool that I wanted to either shout out or ask about. But I forgot what they were. I will say though, I will say I like the clip from Turtle Rock down to Palace of Darkness area, just because I'd never seen it before and it looked cool though.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, that was some very smart roading.
You can do that in the light world, but it's a bit different. And I wasn't really sure exactly how to do it, so I just did Dark World version, even though it was slower.
JC tried to, but he jumped from Death Mountain into a wall in Zora's Domain and got stuck, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's probably one of the things was the Moldorm Water Walk.
Oh yeah, that blew my mind when I realized what it was and when chat pointed it out to me.
It was very impressive, realizing you could do that there, just working it in.
I was afraid I didn't get the setup quite right, because it's a little finicky. But... yeah, and I wasn't... And I wasn't, like, totally sure where to transition down either to the outside Zora area, and, like, I almost was too far left. I was, like, luckily, like, right at the spot that I could still jump inbounds and not be stuck on the rock.
Yeah, if you're too far left, you can still get stuck on the walls there, too.
And now we do have JC with us as well. GG, man.
I got my bow. It's like, well, Glen's going to be done in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And I think I was pretty close to accurate on that statement.
Pretty close, yeah.
Still a very good run on your part.
Yeah.
Although, Glan, there is one thing I remembered that I wanted to ask you. If you didn't find the bow in Ganon's tower, were you going to clip the mimics or just...
I would have left, because I haven't actually gotten around to learning that yet.
I think I would have just left since I had that ice rod.
Yeah.
I definitely would have gone to Turtle Rock after.
Yeah, Turtle Rock was on my mind as the potential play right up until you guys found the bow, so... Probably the right call.
Yeah, doing the mimic clip in that second bow room just seems like hell.
Yeah, I need to get around to actually learning that soon, because it's really useful in this. Because, like, the amount of times, like, you'll just go to GT because you have, like, hammer and hook shot or whatever, and, like, if you find the big key, you can just finish it without the bow. Like, it's definitely a lot more useful here than in no glitches.
Yeah, Overworld glitches pushes you to get in tower a lot with not necessarily having the enemy to full clear. So learning glitches to get around item requirements is very useful.
Yeah.
How early did you get that mirror?
The mirror,
desert
Pretty
from the
early.
chest.
Yeah, I went there just right after CAC. Because it's a pendant, I might as well just clear the front.
I think I consider it eventually part of CAC still.
Yeah, like I have a hard time justifying not doing it right away in glitched. So it's just right there, and after you're checking race game.
Yeah, it's a very easy, obvious choice from that point.
If I remember early, the biggest divergence the two of you had early on was JC checked the hobo, got a really early glove that I don't think came into play that much, but it was a thing.
Yeah, I think. Did I already have the miss by the time I made my way back around to Checkerboard Cave? I don't remember. Oh no, I got
glove was in
I
Paradox Cave, I think.
Okay, that's right.
So
I used the glove immediately because I hook and got that hook shot before I found out about the hint.
Oh, right, so you did. The castle was clearable front to back, so I sort of forgot about that in light of that detail, but...
Oh, and I found one thing I found interesting at the start, JC, was you skipped the library and just clipped straight down to the desert from the race game, and then came back up for the library after.
Might as well as it's like since I always go in from the race game from the tops, like if I don't like it, I might as well just do the double hop down a desert.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice.
I think chat was complaining about you walking out of Agina's cave, though, because that's a bit of a slow walk, even with the boot.
Sometimes you do it. I actually don't think it's really much slower than like doing the clip back from from Cave 45. If it is at all, even.
Yeah, those locations right there. There's a million different ways you could do that.
Yeah, and both of you did the library race game desert Agina area in different orders, and it came out more or less even for both of you. You were both done with that around the same time, considering Glan opened up by going and checking Sahasrara, which you hadn't done yet, JC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I decided to just kind of try that out. I don't normally do that opening route.
I'm a fan, so...
Yeah, I see that a fair bit.
The premise of it is that, like, the Octoroks shooting rocks, when they blow up on the walls, that counts as a kill for tree pulls. So the premise is, like, you can go there and then, like, you get those rocks blowing up and you get, like, the tier 3 tree pull for free, pretty much.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
I just learned something really amazing.
I didn't actually know that. But it makes perfect sense since it's a sprite that comes on in from an enemy that disappears.
I always learn some interesting stuff watching these streams. Everyone's got their own little tricks that they do that you don't see many other people do.
Yeah, I do a lot of the really, really old stuff and some of the earlier things found in applications. There's a lot of new stuff that came out since the last time I was incredibly active in glitch modes.
New stuff.
There is a lot. It's like, oh man. I don't even think I can compete in the logic anymore.
I haven't been in the loop of that either myself.
But I did learn the new trick as far as like laser bridge without mirror and stuff like that. But that's pretty cool.
The lower turtlebuck mirror wrap?
Yeah, the mirrorless mirror lap.
Oh, that's a cool one.
Yeah, I always forget that one. Like, I learn it and I forget it.
Yeah, some of these applications you have to be on top of it for a really long time and stay on top of it.
Gotta drill it into your mind so that when you're in that situation, you recognize that you can use it.
and it's still not terribly useful unless you have like a. Actually, so whenever I have like T-Rock last, I'm looking for the big key and that's it. I like to do, and I've already done like part of the middle already. It's like, okay, I'll just go into the front and then run over and do that other clip. I think it's a little bit faster than going through the inside of the dungeon without actually timing it.
Yeah, I've done that sometimes. Though I haven't timed it either, so I don't know if it's better or worse.
Yeah, and did he sound faster at first thought? So mostly though, I'm surprised that this game is going on 25 to 30 years old, and we're still learning both new applications for existing tech and new tech entirely, and then new fun facts like the Octoroks.
Yeah, it just keeps on giving.
It is an incredibly glitchy game, and that works great for people like us who love these glitches.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, other than like YBAs and some of the accidental mirror wrap states, like a lot of the stuff that we use, I don't think people would necessarily randomly find on accident. So a lot of this stuff is pretty intentional, especially in like studying like the collision detection and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, and there's like a disassembly, partially commented of the game's code. That's a really good resource for this type of stuff if you're good at that.
I'm not.
Not at that low level.
I have poked around in it a bit, but still don't really have a good grasp on all the code.
Alright.
Yeah, I guess I'll take a second here. Let me shout out SpeedGaming schedule for the rest of the evening. Let's see, we've got Super Metroid Link to the Past Combo Randomizer started about an hour ago on SpeedGaming 5, as did Zelda 1 Randomizer on the main SpeedGaming channel. A spoiler log tournament match is happening on SpeedGaming 3 if you want more Link to the Past specifically. And then beyond that, there's Zelda 1 Randomizer on SpeedGaming 2 at 10:30, and Zelda 1 Swordless on the main SpeedGaming channel at 11:30 Eastern. So if anybody still in chat is interested in any of those, please check them out. And other than that, anybody have any last thoughts they want to share on the race, on the seed, the tournament as a whole, anything?
I probably need to get into the habit of just doing the water rock setup from Ice Rod Cave or something like that, rather than come back for those flippers late in a bit.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
It's like a lot of, I mean, it's like I know how to do it. I mean, it's not hard, but a lot of times it's not. A lot of times it's not terribly useful for me.
Just this was a little bit of a special case with the flippers themselves being up there.
That was a really brutal placement because
Yeah, that was funny.
I got the 4th heart piece in the waterfall and then swam out and saw the flippers on the ledge.
Oh no.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah,
I feel sorry for you on that, but I thought that was really funny.
it was.
Yeah, that was so rude.
Reasons that you should just go straight to Zora rather than Waterfall.
Yeah.
Oh well, it happens.
I considered even doing Waterfall DMD before, because I was in Death Mountain before that.
That's what I did.
But then I was just like, whatever, I'll just do it with the water walking.
Yeah, I learned today that you can't get water walk if you leave the waterfall cave after doing DMD to clip into it. So I think that was probably a little unfortunate for JC with that flipper placement. But you were able to go right back there and check it, so.
Yeah, it's like, it was a conscious decision to do it that way. It's like, Like, might as well just hop on over there after. I was debating on whether or not if I just wanted to go straight to Catfish or dip into T-Rock first. Obviously, I ended up dipping into T-Rock. I don't think there was anything useful in that at all.
There was a bottle, and that was about it.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And then I just like, okay, I'll just go straight to Catfish from T-Rock and call it good. It's
yeah,
like,
the one will,
I was getting ready to go to Ice Palace at that point too, and then I saw those flippers. It's like, and I saw that hint. It's like, well, there's something sharp in west side of the swamp. It's like, no idea where the other swords are, so might as well just check swamp and get that sword.
Yeah, I did have master sword going in the swamp, so like I kind of waffled back and forth on whether I should get the tempered or not, but it's just nicer to have tempered even if it wasn't worth the time.
Oh, you did miss a gold sword in the rando room, by the way, just in case you were curious.
Oh well, it doesn't make a big difference.
Yes. Especially as late as we got, everything that's what we had left.
Yeah, just a hypothetical if you did skip that tempered sword on the left side of swamp.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least that tells me that getting tempered was not worth it. Because I definitely would have checked those two chests if it wasn't on tempered already.
The one moment I really remembered on your side, JC, is when you were trying to clip up into the village without cast and you accidentally jumped off that ledge.
I didn't even know.
Sad.
I didn't even know you can jump. It's like, I didn't know you can jump and fall down from that ledge. That's the first time I've ever had that happen. It's like, okay. Yeah. I was like, okay, not moving.
Yeah, I just messed up the routing.
Jump into the trees or something?
Yeah, I transitioned up from digging game, and then not too long after I walked into the screen, I hopped past the bottom of the transition, like almost immediately afterwards.
Oh, yeah, I see what you... Yeah.
I was like, okay, let's not move.
You can do that, yeah.
I didn't know you could. It's like, oh,
can you set... There was like a really old setup to get the blacksmith.
Yeah, there's
with a mirror placement after that clip.
Yeah, by wrapping past the transition.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I should have known. Oh well, like I even need to do that all the time. Oh well. Would have been easily savable. Oh well. I was gonna cash in the bottle. I'll never bother to cash in that bottle either.
I never checked the kid myself.
I was going to when I was going from Skull to Mire, then I forgot to mirror out, but oh well. Save time by not doing it, I guess. Alright, if I don't see you before, then I'll see you Friday on our race.
Alright, yeah.
Alright, that is you guys' game 2. Let's see. There are a couple races tomorrow. Valiame and Doomtap at 3 p.m. Eastern, and Chex Human vs. Ultimate at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Restream information to be determined. So if you guys are interested in other matches in this tournament, check those out. Those should be good.
Some very nice matches so far.
And I guess that'll be about it for us. I've been Reg. My partner tonight's been Shiku. Our runners have been Glan and JC. Good night, everybody.
Extra thanks to Reg for tracking, too.
Yeah, thanks for